Hey guys, welcome to this week's Reality Roundup. Our file just didn't record. Isn't that fun?
No. All right, so let's cut right to the chase. There was no Masked Singer this week.
Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, we will be talking about the new episode or episodes of that next week in detail on the podcast. So let's get right to Survivor, episode 11. All right, so last week was a double tribal. And
we already saw that Aaron and Missy went, which was a big deal. Those are two big targets. So Karishma's pretty excited because those were two of her targets. So it was a good week for her.
Did Jeff happen to mention that the two people with immunity the week before were the two people who went home?
Nope.
In the same week?
I don't recall him saying that. But Karishma still has her idol, which is great for her. Right. But last week sucked for Elizabeth.
She's all alone now. Her
those were her two people.
Are gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. So Tommy and Dean are also worried because they are afraid that the goat army is going to come and chew them down now that they don't have any more bigger targets in front of them.
I mean, yeah, with all these big targets leaving, soon the scales are going to tip and you're going to have more goats left than targets. Right. So people like Karishma, Nora, they're going to be able to start making moves and just picking off those big targets one by one.
Well, the Island of the Idols boat is arriving.
Ooh.
It's like a Wells Fargo wagon.
Yeah, right?
Around the block. All right, so you got to choose somebody unanimously. Otherwise, you just pick it out of the bag. No biggie. So Lauren pipes up right away and says, I want to go.
Yeah, and Chris was like, oh.
She
wanted to go too, but once Lauren stepped up and everybody was like, yeah, she decided, I'm just going to not say anything and not make waves.
So
we still haven't had a repeat person.
No repeat people at the Island of the Idols. So do you think that they try and mold that to so that they don't get any repeats? Or
well, I mean, I think ideally they would want as many new people to go as possible. And also, I think the people that have already gone are afraid to go again because they don't want a big target on their back. Yeah.
All right. So how much did you love the chicken biting Sandra's finger?
The chicken bit my finger.
That's karma for the goat.
Yeah.
We shan't speak of it.
Ugh, don't remind me.
All right. So everybody gets a lesson, obviously, at Island of the Idols, and this week is no different.
Right.
Rob explains to Lauren that your lesson is tribe awareness. How well do you know your tribe? Well, I think I know them pretty well. I'm a people watcher. You know, I listen.
Well, they tell her, we're going to give you the chance to predict who is going to win the next immunity challenge. I was like, competition? No, it's a challenge.
Well, it's an idol.
So, yeah, who's going to win the next immunity?
If you can tell us who's going to win the next one, you're going to get an immunity idol that's good for two tribals, or you're going to lose your vote if you guess wrong. So she's like,
Yeah. Well, they do tell her, look, this is what the challenge is going to be. It's going to be endurance. You got to hold on to your little bar thing so that your ball doesn't fall.
But it's also a sit and eat.
What?
So if you want to sit out and have breakfast, breakfast. So she was really excited about the fact that there was breakfast to be had.
Yeah. So that kind of makes things a little bit easier to suss out. So she ends up coming down to
two names.
Yeah, Nora and Elizabeth, which made a lot of sense. She was given a lot of really good, valid reasons for why the other people weren't going to win.
Was very accurate. She really reasoned it out, but she was very hesitant in her committing to a person or, you know, even saying that she wanted to do the challenge. So she got, I think, like the ultimate, incentive.
Well, because she waited it out, she got a better deal.
Right. And that was, you get to narrow it down to two people, which she had already done. So
she stuck with those names and she said, okay, it's going to be Nora or Elizabeth. I'm going for it.
Right. So then they said, all right, if you win, it's going to be under this rock somewhere, like by the water well. She's
right.
Like, all right, I'm out of here.
Okay.
But back at camp, Dean is holding the hot little legacy advantage, which is a fake. in his hand.
Yeah, the one from Jamal.
And everybody seems to think it's real, including Dean.
Or they think there's at least a chance that it could be.
Right. So Dean really does not want to waste it.
But he also, he wants to take the target off of his back.
Exactly.
So he comes up with what we think is a brilliant idea.
If the other one was real, but he didn't know it wasn't. So it's still brilliant that he would come up with this. He basically did a Survivor copy.
He copied the copy.
He copied the copy. And it looked like shit, but that was a great idea.
It reminded me of years ago when that painting of, like, Jesus was restored and somebody, like, really effed it up and it looked horrible. Yeah. That was his version of the legacy.
Right. So Lauren returns and tells everyone that she knows what the what the immunity challenge is going to be. And it's a sit out and eat because of her. She got to choose.
So I like the way she twisted things here.
I did too.
Like, oh, thank you, Lauren. We're eating breakfast because of you.
Yeah.
So it was an extra plus for her that there was the opportunity here to have food, because now she can convince people, hey, you're probably not going to win anyway, so maybe just eat that breakfast.
Just sit out and eat.
Yeah,
or
so
you
there's
don't need to win because you're not in trouble.
It's like an extra tool for her. So Lauren and Tommy were really working together to get people to sit out, because of course she let him in on this info about the potential to get the idol.
I think she did a really good job too.
She did.
Convincing the people that needed to be convinced to sit out.
I mean, look what happened.
Yeah, at the immunity challenge, we find out that
everyone sat out except for
3 people.
Nora, Elizabeth, the 2 picks, and Karishma, who's like, I'm never gonna sit out if I don't have to.
And also does not have a great shot at winning the idol.
So Lauren's like, woo! Because she's like, there's no way that Karishma's gonna win this thing. And I was thinking, oh my god, this edit, like, Karishma is absolutely gonna pull out this win. It's gonna be an amazing moment for her.
She was out almost immediately.
Yeah.
And she was upset about it, but you know what? Jeff is a great host, and Jeff really put a great spin on it.
Jeff just keeps getting better every season.
I agree.
And she was sad that she didn't get to eat food. Jeff was sad that no one was excited when he revealed the food. Like, they already knew about it, so they weren't like, wah!
All right, so Nora ended up winning. I feel like Elizabeth's just not that good at endurance challenges.
I mean, obviously she's really strong in the water-based ones, but she has not been as strong as I thought she would be in the individual immunities.
No.
I don't know, maybe her, like, swimming muscles are a disadvantage because...
Could be.
I don't know.
Well,
who knows?
When they get back to camp, Lauren and Tommy go and collect their idol, and they kick up their little reindeer heels. They're so excited. They pulled it off.
So now the question is...
Who's going home?
Who's going? Seems like everybody's talking about Karishma, talking about Elizabeth.
Yeah, we going to get out a goat, or we going to get out a
major
threat?
Yeah.
So the consensus is going to be Elizabeth, but Elaine would prefer Karishma.
I think maybe Elaine was close to Elizabeth before, and then we saw, like, Elizabeth was super tight with Missy and Aaron. But now that they're gone, maybe Elaine is thinking, this is my chance to scoop up Elizabeth. Like, who else does she have?
Well, they're pretty sure that Karishma does not have an immunity idol because Nora walked off with her bag and went through it.
Ooh, so slimy.
Knowing that it's in Karishma's armpit.
Oh,
that was a great idea to not hide it in her bag.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really hide it in your bag anymore because people are going to look. So everybody's like, woo, she doesn't have an idol. We're getting rid of her. Maybe. Let's do this.
But Dan tells Karishma that they're splitting the vote between Elizabeth and Janet. But they're really splitting the vote between Elizabeth and Karishma.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Elizabeth was still the target.
I don't know. But
Karishma goes in front of Dan. Not, what, like 10 feet away?
I don't know. It was very close.
How could she have done this?
She talks to Elizabeth and she's like, hey, let's get Dan. And Dan says, this is Dan. No. Little Big Brother joke in there for you. No, but Dan hears Karishma mention his name. So he walks over and confronts her. And Karishma's like, no.
I said Janet. Janet.
I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, I can't believe she... No. All right, so it's time for tribal.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff couldn't believe that 6 people felt safe enough to actually eat breakfast.
I know, right?
Did you bring enough food for 6 people, Jeff? They were chowing down pretty hard over there, so I guess there was plenty of food to be had.
And during the challenge, too, Nora had already won, but she tried to hang on longer so they could eat more, and Jeff was like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's funny. I guess she was trying to make up for last week.
I think she was trying to,
like, I won.
She's trying to get some brownie points there.
Yeah. So Dean says, I got a legacy advantage, and I'm going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the vote, and Dean plays his legacy advantage, and Jeff said, this is a piece of
This
poop.
is fake.
Yeah.
He's a faker.
This is fake as you, Dan.
Yeah, so...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so that was fake, but then Krish was like, well, I'm going to play my idol, and this
it's
is real for me. So Jeff was like, yes, I will accept this.
And
so
everybody loses it.
They're freaking out.
And Nora said, oh, geez. Not Nora.
Lauren.
Lauren said, oh, geez, I better play my idol, too. What if I'm on the chopping block?
What?
Which she wasn't. She didn't get any votes.
Yeah, so she completely blew that. She did not need to use that. But better safe
She's
than
a half
sorry.
blower.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah. So then,
She didn't get any votes. Karishma, on the
got
other
a shit
hand,
ton of votes.
she got every vote except for 2. There was 1 vote for Elizabeth and
Yes.
1 vote for Janet.
So everybody's like, oh.
I gotta say, it was kind of funny watching Dan's meltdown face.
Yeah, he was just
His
like,
panic face. Yeah.
all right. So they got to revote. They can only vote for Janet or Elizabeth, and I believe it was unanimous for
I
Elizabeth.
think it was, yeah.
Yeah. So she is gone.
Damn, another big threat.
Yep. So next time, Nora is a Fruit Loop. How is that news?
I'm really enjoying Nora, though, so I hope she sticks
am,
around. And we just found out that she's vegan in this last episode. Woo!
Yeah. All right, so Loved Ones next week. That is always one of our favorite episodes. It's
gonna be
of the
Emoshi.
season. I used to love the food auction, which they don't really do anymore, and the Loved Ones episode. Those were always my 2 favorite episodes of any season of Survivor.
I'd love to see the auction come back.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let us know what you thought in the comments. All right, so it's time to talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Yes,
This was the finale.
I can't believe it's already the finale, and it felt like it went so fast. But then when they were showing everybody that was on this season,
Who were they?
Wow, that feels like years ago. So
Exactly.
I can't decide whether
That's
or
how
not
you know
the
it's a
season
long
went fast.
season, when you're like, who are these people? Were they even on this season?
It's pretty wild.
All right, well, they had a nice big opener to Let's Dance, the Last Dance tonight. All right,
I loved it. I love that song. I thought they did a great job. Lots of fun.
we said this on our personal vlog that I thought anyway that I love this new format where it's much less BS and it's all in one night.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't trot out the former celebrities to do like even a third of a dance like they used to.
Perform this.
I like it better when they're in a big production number. They were all in the beginning, which was nice for 3 seconds. I mean, Sean Spicer just went like this with his hands, and that was it. Done.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to see.
That being said, I was a little bit surprised. Okay, so each finalist did 2 dances.
Right.
And I was a little bit surprised that the first round was just a dance that they already did.
I know.
Redone. Like, and they didn't even really, I guess you could change some of the choreography, and I think some people did a little bit, but they just basically repeated a performance, which I thought was a little bit silly. Like, let's see something new.
Remember how you used to have to be raked over the coals in the past, where they would have the fusion dance
I
that
love
you
the
had to
fusion
make up
dance.
overnight? And then they had the revisiting dance, but you did change some of the choreography, not like to repair, just to make it more fun.
Yeah.
And then they had the freestyle. So, like, they really raked you over the coals in the past. And this,
Well, now they don't have as much time to fill, but still, I thought there would have been 2 new dances, but
it's close to the holidays. People have obligations.
I guess.
They couldn't possibly learn another dance in one whole week.
Yeah, so we're not going to dissect all of the first round dances
No,
again.
because they already
seen
did them.
But I have to say, I felt like some of these dances were a little bit overscored.
Blatantly
Yeah, I know that obviously reality TV is not real, but I just
Not
wanted
even close.
I wanted to believe that Dancing with the Stars was at least
Was still believable.
fairly judged, but I don't know. It just seems like they were always overscoring Allie this season, and
I
her
feel
first
like,
dance
yeah.
here was really
Not a perfect dance.
yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like she was off the beat a few times. She may have had some footwork errors, but they just chose to ignore those when they would point it out for other people.
I just believe that they tried to keep her even with the pack because they didn't want it to be like a blowout.
I don't know.
They overcompensated for her, and I really did not appreciate it whatsoever. It really turned me off.
Yeah. But she's lovely as a person, I feel like.
I'm
It's
sure
nothing
she's
against
lovely
her,
as a
it's
person.
just-
It's the show that we're taking issue with, not her.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
I mean, they still were very entertaining, but I just thought
Of course.
they were overscored.
But for the fairness part of it, which we're all about, it's not very fair. And that sucks.
Yeah. Kel and Whitney, a wrong was finally righted. They got a 30 for their High School Musical dance, which I thought he should have gotten the first time.
Yeah.
But whatevs.
Lauren and Gleb did their Jolene number, and it was
This
a
one I felt
foxtrot.
like had some issues too, but she
It
got
did.
a 27.
Yeah, she
so
was punished.
It made sense.
She was punished for her mistakes, but not Allie.
Yeah, and then Hannah and Alan did their Viennese waltz, which was great.
Yeah, they got a 28. They were also punished. I need to see you in my office after your dance.
Yeah, so they also had a little Bachelor promo.
Let's talk about these thirsty vagines on the
No!
Bachelor promo.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that we don't watch the show anymore. I just can't.
I would just hate myself.
I just can't.
Absolutely
It's so
hate
nasty.
myself.
Ew.
Not
Well,
against anyone who watches The Bachelor
No.
for fun, but we're just not all about that thirsty life anymore.
And like they're all crying because they're coming to terms with the fact that this guy that they're messing around with is like
Messing around with 30
everybody
other
else.
women.
Yeah. Ugh.
But then, the real kicker, the knife to the heart. Hannah's back on the show
Oh my god.
for a third time. I feel like she has such a connection. Well, I feel like Alan really likes her and has some chemistry with her, but it's not reciprocated. And I feel so
know.
bad for him. I think he'd really like to take her out on a date. And I feel bad for him. But
Well,
you know what?
I'm sure Alan will find a very nice lady.
Someone like you?
No.
Yeah. And then we were treated, and I say treated because it was mercifully short, to some season highlights that were fun.
I really wanted to see the bloopers from like dress rehearsal and stuff.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
That's always so exciting and so fun
Yeah.
to see like behind the scenes stuff, but they didn't really show that this time.
No.
Right? I mean, they showed maybe just like a few things, but
I want to see some Sasha scares.
I want to see some cursing during dress rehearsal.
I want to see some drama.
Yeah.
But nope, we got
I want
a
to see some lights falling during interviews, like all that good stuff. Maybe they didn't have that many bloopers this season. I find that hard to believe.
I find that incredibly hard to
Guess
believe.
they just didn't have time for it. I don't know.
It's the holidays. People didn't have time to go digging through the footage. They probably didn't have as
Yes.
many interns, so
I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
They did have a performance by Pitbull and Neo.
I have never been disappointed with a Pitbull performance in my life.
What about Neo? He is always
was great, too.
Because at least he can dance. Pitbull just kind of stands there.
Pitbull just sticks his wiener out and is
No!
like,
It was weird to see him not wearing white pants.
that was a little jarring. That was a little jarring. But
Yeah.
again, all the celebrities came out during this dance number
So
and
this
did
was-
their...
Yeah, this was supposed
Done.
to be them like performing all together for the final time. I
Mercifully short.
would say the term performing was used loosely.
They paraded them out. Mercifully short. Then they had the pros come out and finish the job.
Well, you had a good metaphor here. It was, or not a metaphor, but whatever. It was very reminiscent of like a child's dance recital.
Yes!
And after the show's over, they all come out one by one and do like their little bow before they get their trophy or whatever they're getting.
Yeah, which is like a time step or whatever from their
everybody
performance.
does like their little step.
The little highlight of their performance. So
Right.
there you go.
Well, then it was time for the good stuff. The
Freestyle.
freestyles.
I love the freestyles every year. One of my absolute favorite freestyles was, I believe, Mark Ballas and the girl from Duck Dynasty. I can't remember her name. Sadie.
She just got married.
I know. They did their Super Mario freestyle.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was so inventive and so
really
much
neat.
fun. But you know what? I can also appreciate a Maxime stripped down, just straight up, no funny business ballroom number as well. So
Well, the thing that I love about the freestyle is they really do get to show their personality.
anything goes.
Yeah, you can do any style,
Yeah, like Lauren Elena did a country western
which I thought was so
themed.
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Except
fun.
That Country Girl Shake It For Me song, I don't like that song. I don't know. It's always weirded me out. It feels wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But I thought the song was very fitting for her, and I thought the choreography was good.
Well, again, on the topic of overscoring, Allie and Sasha had their freestyle, and there were some very awkward lifts that almost went very badly in this number. Like, they were bad.
They were cool, but they weren't as smooth as they could have been. I really loved their theme, though. It was like all Latin dances, and Gloria Estefan.
Oh, yeah, it
And-
was high energy, but those lifts were not good. They were not polished. They did not look smooth, and they still got a 30.
And the dogs run in to tell us what they think. Hi, babies. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think Kel and Whitney were the only ones who didn't get a 30, right?
I think so.
They got a 29.
I
don't remember-
I'm not 100% sure.
I
on
don't
that.
remember what Lauren Elena got.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I'm not sure.
I think
Does it
no.
matter?
I think she got a 30 because they were like, "Oh, it's your first 30 or something." Wasn't that her?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was her. Yeah. I think it's ridiculous that Kel and Whitney did not get a 30. Len. That
Yeah.
was such a cool routine. The way that they built up the ending there and just kept going faster and faster.
Yeah.
It was
Because that's
awesome.
really hard to do.
Yes.
And stay
So
in time.
precise, and it just felt like different than
I thought it was
other
a lot of
freestyles
fun.
that we've seen.
A lot of fun.
But Len was like, "No, it was too similar to your other dance." Come on.
You know what? All in all, none of these freestyles were memorable in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know. I thought Hannah really peaked at the right time. Her freestyle was
I think
great.
she did peak at the right time.
This Girl Is on Fire.
Mm-hmm.
They also had some Holla Back Girl in there, Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a nice mashup.
Yeah, I thought that was a really great routine for her.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a 30.
Can we talk a hot 20 seconds about Lionel Richie announcing the extra contestant to go through to Hollywood for American Idol?
Cool.
I've got two words. Who cares?
Yeah, we don't watch that show anymore, but how is it? I want to know from you guys, how is it on ABC? Because,
You know what?
like,
I think it's the same old, same old.
I don't know. What changes have they made? What's
Yeah.
it all about? Tell us. Celebrities, do they know things? What do they know? Let's find out.
Hollywood. All right.
Yeah.
So then they trotted out Cher to sing The Beat Goes On. Let me say, Cher has still got it going on.
Of course she does.
She's amazing. Her face doesn't move like it used to, but she looks great.
Good for you, Cher.
And her voice is just as good as ever. She looks amazing.
Dancers
Sounds
were so
amazing.
much fun during that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I'm glad they saved that for the final episode and not the penultimate episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they cut right to the chase here. There was no fluff at the end because they didn't have time.
Yep.
And in fourth place was Lauren and Gleb.
I kind of figured that would happen.
Yeah. A little catastrophe in the other room
There's
over
a little
there.
scuffle over there.
Yeah.
They're just playing.
In third place was Allie and Sasha. Now,
Whoa.
my question to you and all of you is, would they have ended up in 4th place if it hadn't been for the extra scores?
I don't know.
The overcompensation of the scores.
I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm thinking that they would have.
I think there was some controversy online. Some people were saying that Erin like reacted in a weird way.
I saw that. I don't think it's true that she was upset that, well, we're cutting to the chase here, that Hannah won.
Yeah, so Kel got 2nd place.
I think she's guilty of not realizing she's in the camera blocking, and when she's waiting for her turn to speak, yeah, she has a sad face on. Like, meh.
Just like a resting sad face. I have a resting sad face, so I totally identify with that.
Yeah. I think that's what the issue was. Not that she was upset that Hannah had won. I think she just didn't realize she was on camera, and she was just waiting. Like, she was in rest position, like,
Yeah. How do you feel about Hannah winning?
I'm fine with it. I think it would have been nice to see Kel win because he had been so underscored the entire season.
I thought he really had a trajectory too that was just like
up. But I think Hannah peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, she did have a transformation a week or 2 ago. You know, a realization of her dance had like greatly improved exponentially, even though she was a dancer from the beginning. But
yeah,
I think in the beginning she just danced without feeling.
Yeah.
And now it means so much more to her, and it shows in her dancing. So I feel like, yes, I'm happy with her as the winner.
Here are my thoughts.
Okay.
Kel was my first pick to win. I would have loved to have seen him win. Obviously, that didn't happen. Hannah was my number 2, so I'm cool with it. I think she was solid throughout the whole entire season. But like you said, her dances were kind of like Elsa, Ice Queen. Like, she wasn't being vulnerable. So that's why she wasn't always, like, near the top of the leaderboard, even though she was one of the more skilled dancers.
It was more like a cheerleader routine.
Right. But then, the last few weeks, like you said, she put more emotion into it. She opened up a lot more. So I could see why she won.
Yeah, because I think everyone who voted really identified with her because they felt like she was so much more personal, so much more speaking to them. So, yeah, there you go.
All right, guys, let's talk about the reality roundup Golden Child.
Below Deck. I have to say, this is one of my favorite seasons.
It's just one of my favorite shows.
This show just keeps getting better and better.
I love this crap.
This is right up there with the other Golden Child of Bravo.
Vanderpump. It's Vanderpump on a boat. I say it all the time.
Yep.
So anyway, we rejoin the old college people charter.
And it's Pirate Day. Arr.
That's fine if you want to do that, but to like make the crew do that is kind of obnoxious.
It's Pirate Day and Captain Hook, aka Riley, is arriving.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Right out of the gate, she is obnoxious.
She's a lot.
Yeah. Woo. Let's talk about that, the primaries on this charter.
This freaking primary is so ridiculous. He thinks that he can just do whatever he wants.
Hello. Can someone please let the primary know about the Me Too movement?
About just like not being a dick?
Yeah. Oh my god. And it's not just the guys. It is that girl.
That girl is all over Ashton in her freaking weird ass bathing suit.
It looks like she took a net body stocking and, hot glued on a black flower from the dollar store over each boob.
It was a lot.
Don't be walking around with your ass out like that either. That's obnoxious.
Yeah.
All right, so
anyway, sorry. I feel like Ashton is interested because like he wants to get some, but he knows if he hooks up with a guest,
that's bad news.
That's bad.
He will do enough. He's like a lap dance king. He will do enough without actually making contact to get that tip, and that's cool. All right, so Riley arrives, like we said. And Captain Lee thinks that Riley is a good worker, but she's a lot to handle. And I believe, this is a direct quote, Captain Lee hopes her garbage truck mouth doesn't override her dump truck ass.
Whoa.
I don't think he meant that she had like a big fat dump truck ass.
No,
I think
not
he
at
meant
all.
like she was trashy.
Yeah. But I think also he's saying, like, she's a hard worker, so he values that, even though she had a lot of problems last season with Chandler and Ross. So he's hoping that things will be okay with Ashton. Ashton looks terrified when he sees Riley.
Well, Riley has a crush on every guy. I don't know. Well, maybe not every guy. But,
she's going to be creating some waves for the rest of the season, I feel like.
Yeah. So,
back to that dirty-ass primary. He will not leave Simone alone. It is so ridiculous.
and it just sucks that she just can't say, you know, cut
F off.
Yeah, exactly. Cut
She
the
can't
shit.
say
I don't
that.
want this.
Yeah, but luckily, Kate sees what's going on, and she is looking out for her stews, so she tells Simone, go to laundry.
Go hide in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Go jump into a pile of laundry and stay there until this charter is over.
Yeah, which is great, because that's what you need to do. But it's not right that even after that, he's still walking around like the lower levels of the boat, which, that's not for you.
He's so schwasty, too.
And he's like trying to find Simone and be an a-hole to her.
I can't believe these people exist. I would never think about invading somebody else's space like that. That is just beyond me. I don't see how these people survive in life.
Yeah, it's messed up.
All right, well, also below deck, Brian's leg is bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Get Lassie to get a doctor in here.
He's got
Boy,
an
go run for the
infection.
doctor.
He's got an infection. It's not good. His leg is blowing up.
And this ain't Captain Hook, says Captain Lee.
Yeah.
We don't need him walking around on a peg leg eventually because he's going to lose his leg to this infection.
Yeah, that's
And
not good.
it was funny. Captain Lee was like, oh, the thought never crossed my mind that it could be infected.
That's the first thing I thought of.
When it starts swelling up like that.
It's swelling up. It's hot.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's
hot
an
to the touch.
infection.
Yeah. It's an infection.
I guess Captain Lee didn't get his medical schooling,
I guess he was too busy being a boat captain. I don't know.
He's a damn good captain, though.
Yeah. So even Kevin is getting pissed off at this primary.
This primary douche shows up in the kitchen and is like, you think I could get a chicken stir fry for breakfast?
No, F off.
I'm surprised Kevin wasn't like, no. Computer says no.
Well, I mean, you can't really just say that.
Oh my God.
So
Everybody is
finally-
disgusted with all of these people.
Finally, these people are off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord. Everybody's happy to see them go.
Especially Captain Lee.
Yeah.
He's like, let's make this short.
Yeah. Guess what? The tip was pitiful.
It was crap.
For the way they acted, they should have been tipping like $30,000.
And the primary douche had the nerve to say, you're going to be speechless when you see this. And Captain Lee said, I was, in a bad way.
Yeah. Have you watched the show before? Like, come on. It's
These
ridiculous.
people are bending over backwards, taking years off of their lives to, bow and scrape to serve you so that you feel like you're getting your money's worth and you leave a crap-ass tip.
Yeah. It's
No.
really crappy. So anyway, that charter's over.
And Kevin is giddy. I love to see Kevin get excited. He reminds me of a little middle schooler.
Okay, I enjoy Kevin in those moments, but like he really needs to chill it in other moments because
He's a real micromanager.
And it's not his job to be telling Kate how to serve everything. Like, she was really pissed at him during that last charter when he was like, the deck crew's gonna bring out the meat and you bring out the sides. Like, that really pissed her off.
Ugh.
But I don't blame her.
Well,
Brian gets a shot in his butt to help with that infection. But he's not going out tonight because he needs to get better.
Well, Courtney gave him a little kiss. Said, I'm going to tuck you in, but I'm going to go out and have a good time because I've been through hell.
Right?
All right, so it's time to party with the best of friends, or at least people that you work with.
Yeah, so, okay, they're out for their din-din, as Captain Lee called it.
Have a nice din-din, then your ass is mine.
And Riley was like, oh, I want something paleo. Because Kate was like, Kevin, why don't you order some...
Order some hors d'oeuvres for the table, for the whole table. And Riley said, order me something paleo. But she's not paleo.
She's trying to conserve her calories so she can get
more
as
liquors,
much alcohol as possible. But she's not on a diet, okay? She's not on a diet.
She's like, I don't know why everyone is making such a big deal about this. And they were.
So, like, I think Kevin and Riley are very similar. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be like, because they start fighting. Everyone is freaking embarrassed because they are yelling in this restaurant.
I don't honestly understand, coming from Riley's point of view, why it was a big deal to have one paleo option for the table. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I were going out and I'm vegan and Kevin ordered for the table, I would expect him to order something that I could eat.
Yeah.
She very politely requested, let's get some paleo for the table.
What pissed him off too was like she was acting like he was her chef and he's the charter guest chef. I don't know. Those two are a mess.
This whole thing's a big mess.
They're fighting.
Were they pre-gaming before they went out?
Of course. Because everybody else is kind of like, Ashton gets involved. He starts yelling at Riley like, you need to go back on your fishing boat.
Yeah, your Alaskan fishing boat.
Yeah.
Well, Riley started calling Kevin chef, and that did not sit well with Kevin, but poor Kevin had the lamest comebacks ever. Oh my God. They don't let him out of that kitchen often, do they?
All right, well, next time, it's going to get really crazy.
Yeah, Tanner and Simone naked?
What? I mean, before, Tanner was like, I'm not really that into her.
Well, he's thirsty. What can I say?
Yeah.
It's a ladies' charter, too. As bad as this college douchebag charter was, we got some thirsty ladies showing up, and they're drooling over Captain Lee.
I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as bad as the last one.
I hope not.
That one will probably take the cake for the whole season.
I feel bad for Captain Lee. I mean, he loves his bride, Marianne. And I love following him on Instagram and seeing him saying, me and the bride. Yep. I love that about Captain Lee. And I'm sure she's totally secure. I'm just feeling bad that he has to put up with this BS.
Yeah.
For a tip.
A lot of the crew with these guests hitting on them.
But especially the captain, because they might have played around with the cubs, but they want the they want the lion.
All right. Well, it's also not looking too good for Brian next week.
I think he's not gonna make it.
I don't know. You think?
He's probably gonna have to
You don't think he'll have a miraculous recovery?
No.
Oh shit.
If that shot in the ass didn't help him, I think he's probably gonna need an IV drip at like a hospital or something, or at least like not on the boat.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
So, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. And
sorry, this is late. Sorry, our assignment's late, but
it's Thanksgiving. So, let us know what you thought in the comments about this week's TV. And until next time,
much love.